Alright, I was inspired to make this video because I was watching Caught in the Act by Tammy Roman, and there was this one episode where it was just one guy. This woman was gonna go check and see what he was doing, and she found three different women on top of that one woman. So it's these four girls sitting around in a circle talking about all the shit they've been through with this one man, just a bunch of trauma dumping in that one circle because of one man, right? So that inspired me to make this. And this is the 7 types of men that ruin it for men in general. Like, there are a lot of men out there that have toxic behaviors, and unfortunately, they mess with a lot of different women, and women internalize that, and sometimes they have unhealed trauma because of it. They don't go and do the trauma work from dealing with that toxic individual, and they start to project that onto all men, right? So I'm gonna do this list of the 7 types of men that create these type of women that have this standoffish, cold attitude toward men in general. I know all men are not like these men in the list. I'm very well aware of that, but start with number 1, and that is the egoic one. And that can also be AKA the narcissist. The one that is self-important and feels like everything has to be about them, and they don't take accountability for their actions. They don't care who they hurt as long as they benefit off of it. The egoic one. This can be vice versa for females too, because this works both ways. Take how it applies, but I put men. I probably will do a female one, and I'll frame it differently. But yeah, this is the person. Everything is all about them. Um, they are the prize. There's nothing wrong with seeing yourself as a prize as long as you are granting rewards to the person that you're with. You know, it's a give and take. It's a give and take, right? But everything is all about them. These are the type of men that want people to treat them with respect, and as you should treat people with respect. But then the lifestyle that they lead is like they don't take any accountability for their actions. They might not have their shit together, but yet you want everybody to treat you with respect and allow women to do whatever you say, or anybody around them. It don't even have to be women. They could just be like that toward people in general, right? So that's number 1, narcissistic egoic type, right? So number 2 is the abuser type, and AKA the abuser and the bully are usually the same person, right? So the abuser bully type, right? This is the person that tries to force everybody to do what they want by harsh words and harsh actions, and they're like, and sometimes, unfortunately, I've seen it in guy groups where they have a friend that's like the abuser type, the one that'll sit there and mistreat women, put their hands on women, be overly rough with women, and they overlook it because it's like, that's my homeboy and everything. Yeah, he be tripping sometimes with my homeboy. Meanwhile, he's choking women out in the stairwell till they pass out. Like, this is not something that happened to me. I'm just scenarios that pop into my head from stuff I've seen, stuff I read, stuff I've been around. And yeah, I got some toxic stuff in my experiences, but yeah, these people, they cause mental trauma to people and give them complexes and trust issues. Like the abuser type, the one that knows no boundaries, put the hands on people, talk to people any kind of way, so disrespectfully, blatantly disrespectful type, just like aggressive in personality overall with word and actions. Ruin it. And now there's people walking around with complexes because those type of people, right? Number 3 type, the user type, right? Like, this is the person that don't never have nothing, always want something from somebody else, and they don't ever try to even if they get something from somebody else, they don't even try to pay it back. They don't try to pay it forward any type of way. They just feel like they're entitled to it, right? And unfortunately, we have a society that panders to that. They don't try to pay it forward any type of way. They feel like they can just go around and get stuff out of people because they're entitled to it, right? Um, they can be they can all the user type can also be the egoic one at the same time. But sometimes people can also be a user type and not be as egoic. You know, um, just like I said, I watching that series called in the act, like that made me put together this one, like, and that made me think about the user type. Like this one guy, he was the narcissistic type, but he was also a user type. Like he had both, like he had both of these women paying for stuff for him. Um, right. So both of these women was paying for stuff for him, and I guess the other woman couldn't pay for his stuff enough, and he left her a financial hardship in a bind after she done helped finance his shit. Then left her there and be like, well, you're a grown person, and grown people survive. But you're the reason she's in the financial hardship because you used her for her hard-earned money, and then when she couldn't give you any more resources, you drained her dry and you left. There are men and women out there that do that. Like I said, this can apply to men and women. When I said that, I was like, yeah, there are definitely women that do that too. But I feel like when women do it, it's more highlighted. People highlight it more when women do it, but when men do it, it for some reason it gets overlooked. There are men that will be dealing with multiple women, getting stuff from multiple women, building up their life off of the shit that they get from these multiple women, and then when they can't get the stuff from whatever of the women they deal with, they just discard them and keep going. But nobody really talks about it. When it comes to women, people will talk about that shit all day. Gold digger this all day, all motherfucking day. But there are gold digging ass men out here, dude. Just know that. Hmm. And sometimes it don't even have to be stuff. Um, it could be this person helps your reputation. They're using you because you help their reputation. Um, Men and women also do that. Um, it could be something as simple as you get free stuff, so they're using you to try to get some of the free stuff that you get. It could be people will use you for anything. I keep talking about this user culture, man, and the internet is like kind of feeding that. Like GoFundMe pages. Like I understand sometimes people do need GoFundMe, like your house burned down in a fire and you lost everything, you need to relocate, whatever. Okay, right? But some people will start a GoFundMe and it's like, why should I go fund you? This seems very entitled. Um, so it's like little stuff like that that enables that user culture, right? Um, so that was number 3, the user. Number 4, the misogynistic one. This is the one that is so disrespectful to women. They hate women. They have women hate speech. They feel like women are beneath them, that women should be subservient to them, even though they're not treating the woman with common decency and respect for the subservience. You know, the misogynistic one that dogs females, and sometimes it puts women off when you guys like a guy can have a friend group and y'all know this motherfucker's misogynistic. Y'all call him on the shit and just let him go around and dog women essentially from the way he acts toward them and the things that he says towards them, demeaning toward them. You know, um, the narcissistic one can also be the narcissistic one, and the abuser can also have misogynistic. Actually, 9 times out of 10, the narcissistic one and the abuser will have the misogynistic tendencies. Women bashing. Like I said, this could also go both ways with females that have misandrous tendencies, which is hatred for men, right? So, like I said, this goes both ways. This goes both ways. Um, but yeah, essentially seeing nothing wrong with degrading and hate speeching women and seeing women as subservient and less than. And yeah, ruins it. Number 5, the controlling one. And this is the one that tries to make everybody do what they want to do no matter what, right? So this is the one that basically has like the father complex over everybody, where it's like, yo, why do you keep trying to talk to me like you're my father? You're not controlling what I'm doing, where I'm going, blah 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 blah. Or it's like, okay, I can understand there's a difference between being controlling and constructive criticism, right? Um, that can ruin it. Like, women are not children, okay? They're not children. They're grown ass people. And it's okay to offer suggestions when you see somebody falling off and you're trying to give them good advice. There's a difference between trying to give somebody good advice where it's like, look, I'm just telling you things that I noticed and I'm telling you things that you could do. But if you take the advice, fine. If you don't, fine. I don't, it's your choice. Okay? There's a way to go about it. If you want to give somebody advice and you feel like they're falling off, just give them the advice and be like, listen, I'm just telling you this because I care. You don't got to do it, but I'm just trying to help you. Instead of being like, you need to do this. And if you don't do that, like, and then with the controlling types, they'll give you ultimatums and try to make you suffer consequences for not taking their advice. That is controlling. If you try to make somebody suffer consequences because they didn't do what you said, that's controlling. Only consequence a person should suffer from not doing what you said is the natural ones from ignoring good advice. That's the only consequences a person should suffer. Not because they didn't take your advice, now you're salty, and now you're sabotaging them because they didn't take your advice and you want them to fail. That's controlling, okay? Like I said, there are men and women that do this. Especially in the work setting, toxic work environments. This can be some of the reasons why people will quit. This is the type of person that will make somebody quit their job. Like, listen, they are too controlling. I feel like I can't be myself. I feel like I can't breathe. And I feel like if I don't listen to them, then I'm going to suffer consequences. That's a controlling person. And I'm going to talk about a toxic work environment in a different one. But this is just pertaining to relationships. But that also can apply to toxic work environments. Right? So that's number 5. Number 6, the heartless player, right? Right? So my thing is, if you got player in you, fine, you got player in you. You go around, just be honest about it, right? There are some people that don't mind that. There are some people that are okay with some shit. Be honest with people. Don't lie to them. The heartless player types, they will lie, manipulate, cheat, and don't care whose feelings or lifestyle got caught up in the way from juggling and playing around and stuff. But if you want to play around and you're around a group of people that's okay with you playing around and they all know and nobody has a problem with it, that's your business. That's a whole different other story, right? But if people are suffering consequences from your playing around, life consequences, and even hurt feelings, because sometimes that could cause trauma to somebody where they can't function from being played around too much, right? But like I said, if people was cool with that and y'all having fun, that's not my business. That's a different story. But if it's like people are being lied to and manipulated from your play around ways, playboy and playgirl, that's not right. Okay? Not right. And then last but not least, before I go into this last one, you ever wonder why it seems like sometimes women are obsessed with Harley Quinn? Because they dated the Joker. That's why. Too many women have dated the Joker. This is number 7. Too many motherfucking women have dated the Joker, alright? And this is who the Joker is, right? The Joker thinks everything is a game. Plays too much. Is probably a liar and over-exaggerates and tells stories. Over-exaggerates stories and plays games with people because they think it's fun. They think it's funny. They play too much. Those are the ones who, yeah, they might be funny. They might actually be funny, but sometimes their jokes go too far where it's like overly offensive or it has a negative connotation to the way the person plays around. So like, this is a cruel, sick joke type of person where it's like, they're laughing over here, but it's like, yo, somebody could have got hurt from that. Yo, why are you playing around? Like, you just ruined somebody's life with that joke. Like, there's nothing wrong with being the jokester. I like people that joke around. I be around the people that joke around all the time. I come from people that joke around. That's that. But when it comes to relationships, the Joker, too many women have been with the Joker. So, those are the 7 types of men that ruin it for men in general. Like I said, all men are not bad men. But these type of men will have women going around saying, fuck these niggas, I don't need a man. It's not all men, it's these niggas. These is the ones that ruin it. So with that being said, this is the end of that video, and I know I'm gonna have to edit it because I was cursing like a motherfucker through all this shit. Bleep bleep. All right, and with that being said, I'm on this. Bye. Doses.